Hello guys, and welcome to another video on my channel. This time it's going to be a speed build of a Victorian townhouse. I decided to recreate a floor plan I found on the internet from 1864, and because I think it's quite interesting to build after a floor plan actually, and yeah, to see how the people lived there and how the buildings really were. There I tried to figure out how to do the stairs. It was quite complicated because the railing was quite difficult to recreate. And because a lot of these buildings actually have a basement, I also tried to recreate that. And the basement is intended for the employees to live there, and the kitchen is also downstairs, and all the storage rooms are also downstairs. Yeah, it was quite a difficult task to implement all the things. And yeah, I'm still working on the railing, and I will do that for a while. Somehow it's really difficult for me to find a point or how to begin with the build. Yeah, I really have to try out a lot of things, and until I finally get where I want or know how to use the tools in the build and buy mode. And I think it was a lot easier to build with the Sim 3, but I really like the system in the Sims 4. They're very they really made a lot of improvements, and well, I'm actually really happy with that game. But I don't think it's intuitive in the way it works. So yeah, I think you have to just give it a try while building. And again, the stairs. I'm doing there. Yes, in the original floor plan there was a part that was described as a glazed area. You see behind the staircase in the back where I'm working on right now. And yeah, it was described as a glazed area, so I imagined it as a part of the build, but not really, with a lot of windows, like some kind of conservatory with a lot of flowers. And in the game there's no possibility to enter this area, but I think it really looks nice. There on the sides I'm working on open area for light, and I think it was really common in England or wherever the houses were built, really. There wasn't a lot of room in the city, so they had to expand to the back and downstairs and up. And because the buildings were really close together, there was no possibility really to get enough privacy and also have a lot of natural light in the building. So therefore they created these open areas for light, and I think there also were glazed areas, so there were a lot of windows. Well, I don't know if this is actually correct, but I imagined it to have a lot of windows on the sides to get the natural light from outside. And then there was the real wall of the building. There you see that I put in the windows. Yeah, and inside the area there was nothing, I suppose. I don't really know. I think after a while I put some flowers in there just to make it look nice. But yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this build because if you build after a floor plan, you know that you can't do it exactly how it was supposed to be, because you have these tiles in the Sims, and yeah, you could well, you could measure the floor plan, but I don't think it would be still quite accurate. So I had to do a lot of changes during the build, but yes. Yeah, I think it worked really well in the end, and I'm really happy with the result. Yeah, there you see I still have to figure out the size and the measurements of the rooms, and I think the basement is quite accurate. And yeah, I'm still working on the open areas for light. This is one point that didn't really work in the end, because I think you can't delete the floor actually. So you have a open area to down to the basement, and so therefore I had to delete it in the end. Um, just the piece in the basement. There I'm trying to work it out and try to delete the floor. Well, I didn't quite get it, so if you know if this works, um, please tell me, because yeah, it really bothered me, and that was something that was quite annoying with the build. There I tried to put in stairs so that I could delete the floor, but well, that didn't quite work. But I still wanted it to be in the video, despite the fact it didn't quite work. So you see the whole progress, and actually in my buildings it's quite a lot of trial and error, and the most of the time I don't really know what I'm doing. So yeah, as I mentioned, test, trial and error. And you see there are a lot of rooms in the basement. A lot of them are for storage actually, but there are also the rooms for the employees, such as would be the maid, for example, or a butler or a chef. And I also created a family to live in, with a husband and a wife, a maid, a butler, I think, and a gardener, I think. Um, I also noticed, or well, I notice in the moment that I really don't finish my sentences most of the time. This is just how I speak, and I know it could be quite annoying, and I try to finish my sentences for the most of the time. But well, sometimes it doesn't work, or I just forget it because I'm quite distracted from my surroundings. So be patient with me. I think it will get better in the end. So there I'm putting the doors in, and I still had to change a lot of the rooms downstairs because, well, the floor plan was like this, but in The Sims it didn't work really well. So I had to make a few changes, and yeah, just to make it work for me and for the Sims that are going to live here. And it's still downstairs in the basement. It was really not possible to put, well, it was possible to put windows down there, but they had not really, well, there was not really a purpose for putting them there, or a purpose of putting them there. So I don't know if I deleted them after a while, but yeah. There I tried to put in another staircase for the employees. Just the employees can use this, or at least that's what I imagine it to be, and they can go upstairs and clean the rooms and bring the meals for the lord and the lady, because as I mentioned, the kitchen is downstairs. And what am I doing there? Yeah, this staircase was quite a mess. As you see there, the two stairs up in the same direction, so they didn't quite work, and after a while I noticed that, and I had to change a lot, and they didn't fit in quite well. So yes, it's just really a trouble for me. And there I'm trying to put in another open area for the light, and yeah, just to make it feel more natural, or to make it feel more realistic. And this room is quite narrow, and yeah, but it's just there for the purpose of bringing the meals upstairs into the dining room, which is on the left, on the first level. Still working on the basement and putting some doors in there, and I try to use a lot of, well, I don't want to say cheap doors or cheap things and items downstairs, but I imagine the lord and the lady to be really wealthy and to have quite nice home, but I think they wouldn't spend a lot to make it a home to their servants. And yeah, in this case, or in this point, I think it's quite realistic. Well, I think nowadays it's nothing like that anymore, or at least I hope so. But back then, I imagine it to be really like that, and that the servants did not really have um, a nice home, and they had to work all day long, and really did not have any breaks. Yeah, still working on the windows and putting all of them right there. I think this part is not that interesting, but yeah, I still left it in the video. Because yeah, I wanted everything in the video. Well, actually I could have cut it out, but yeah, I didn't, and so you have to watch it. A lot of windows again, and yeah, now we're upstairs, and I think I'm putting windows now in every room and doors also. And in the upper rooms I tried to use a lot of white windows, and yeah, just to make it feel a lot more bright. And I used a lot of big windows, therefore the house should be really light flooded, although I didn't use any of them on the sides, because as I mentioned before, the other houses in the street were quite close to the to our building, or to this building, so there are just these open areas for the light on the sides to give the house some privacy, because all the buildings are quite close. Yeah, still putting some windows in, and I think in the end I decided to improve the size of the open area on the right, because it's quite small, and I think you have to use the BB Move Objects cheat to place the house, because I used a lot of it in the building. And I also placed some windows in the right open area after I increased it. And yeah, because of the stairs, there would have been no place for putting them there, but yeah, by using that sheet it worked. There I'm doing or creating an anteroom, which is described some sort of a waiting room. Yeah, and again putting some windows in and correcting some of them. And this staircase actually was quite of a big problem in the build, because this is such a high building and there had to be a lot of staircases in the build, and there wasn't enough room for putting them there. And also I would love to have spiral staircase. That would make everything so much easier, but because we don't have any of them yet, I'm trying to do the stairs as good as possible. And yeah, it was really a big problem. So I had to delete the floor a lot of times, and the walls and the surroundings and the railing, and yeah, just to get the staircases right. And it took me a long time to actually get it like I wanted them to be. And in the end, the staircases aren't really as I imagined them to be, because again the floor plan was quite different, and there's no possibility in The Sims to recreate it as far as I know. And yeah, I think this room is going to be the family suite with a dressing room for them, and just a small bathroom and a toilet with a connecting lobby, so that the couple is able to use the bathroom without walking under their rooms. And here I'm doing the guest suite, and upstairs there will be a bedroom for the child, and 2 bedrooms that are supposed to be for the maids or for the governess. And yeah, again a staircase, and yeah, as I mentioned it before, it was quite a problem. And there are some when I remember that I don't need another staircase, because you're only able to have 3 floors, I think, in The Sims, or 4. I don't even know anymore. 4, 3, I think 4. Okay. Yes, here I create the maid's room, and then there's the children's room with another dressing room, and yeah, the small rooms on the left were supposed to be small bathrooms with just toilets in them, but I think I had to correct it a little bit, because oh wait, we'll see in a minute, I think. And again windows, because I tried to be quite accurate, and I think there would have been windows on the same place in every floor. And I think in the background you see a small starter build I did, or starter home I did a few weeks or a month ago. And yeah, you can download it also in the gallery. And there I'm trying to that's where I found out that there's just for floors, and I had to merge the floor plan a little bit, because in the floor plan there was supposed to be a fourth floor with the nurseries and servants' rooms, but as I mentioned in The Sims 4, it's not possible to build more than 3 floors, I think. And that's why I merged the fourth and the third floor into one floor. And yeah, there I'm doing the roofing. And what am I doing now? Putting doors in there. And again, windows to let the light in, as I mentioned before. And am I increasing the size of an area right now? I don't know. I tried to put in windows there, or in there, but it doesn't work because of the stairs. And that's when I used the move objects cheat. Yeah, and then I'm putting a lot more windows in there because it was so dark inside of the room, and it's still really dark. And I had to use a lot of light, but I think with all the different lighting in The Sims 4, it's actually quite interesting, because I think the whole lighting in The Sims 4 is quite dark, but then again you could make it really realistic when you use different light sources, and I don't think in reality houses or rooms are that bright as they used to be in The Sim 3, so I don't know if it's a bad thing that it's so dark. Well, you could make it really light with some of the lamps, but I try to be quite accurate and use a lot of historic light sources such as candles and gas lamps and everything that fits in that area, really. So again, working on the stairs. I have a lot of difficulties with stairs in The Sims 4 because they tend to not increase their size by pulling the handle to the right or the left. I don't know if it's just in my game or if it's a general problem, but yeah. There I tried to use stone on the first floor, and I think actually this is a wood pattern, but yeah, in my opinion, or in my case, it's supposed to be stone, because I saw a lot of these in actual buildings, and I think it quite looked nice. And there I recolor the grid or the roofing, or how it's supposed to be called, I don't know. I don't even know the German word for it, so well, I try to put in some plants to just make it not that clean, and yeah, I think clean is a good word. And I have a lot of problems with gardening because I really don't know what to do there, and I don't want it to look really well. I don't know if this is actually a word in English, but in German it's kitschig. And I didn't want it to look like that, but again, with a lot of flowers and the pinks and purples, there was a chance that it would be like this. But yeah, I think it's still quite nice, or at least I think so. There I use a lot of the terrain paint just to give the building a lot more of a natural feel. And yeah, here I'm putting some flowers into the open areas and into the glazed area. As I mentioned before, I wanted it to look like a conservatory. And yeah, I try to use the same flowers and not a whole lot of quite different ones, because I think that would be really overwhelming and it wouldn't quite suit the house or didn't quite fit in. Yeah, I'm trying to do the garden a little bit, but there wasn't really a lot of room for doing that. And in the end, I think I even increased the size of the garden because I wanted the gardener to have a place for planting his seeds. And also the lady of the house is going to be or is going to have a green thumb, and to I imagine her to love flowers. And yeah, in the end she is planting flowers also in the backyard, and they have a quite nice seating area there. And now I'm moving downstairs and painting the walls, or at least I think so. Or well, I think I paint the walls in all the rooms and all the floors. Downstairs it's just quite easy because I most of the time I use the brick texture, and then I try to use a simple wallpaper because um, yeah, I don't think the lady and Lord, or well, the Lord would spend so much money on making the rooms of his servants nice. So I'm doing the floor now. Later I changed the floor because I think right when I was done with the outside or the floor plan of the building, the new expansion pack released, and there was a new floor, I think, and yeah, I used that for the kitchen downstairs because I think it looked quite more real, or quite more pleasing in some way. And I tried to use a lot of dark lamps, if you could say so, in the basement. I wanted it to be quite dark and in a way cozy, but yeah, I think electricity wasn't really available at that time, or well, at least not for all of the people. Yeah, still putting the lamps there. And this is actually going to be the dining room of the servants. Yes, they have a dining room, but it's quite small and they only have a table and 4 chairs. And after a while I didn't know what to do with all the rooms in the basement, and that was quite a task to imagine what that would be, or what they could do with the rooms. The room on the left is going to be his office, or the office, or the study of the Lord. And then I'm creating the dining room, putting some lights in there and a fireplace to make it quite cozy and homely, and putting a lot of different paintings in there, and also in the whole house, because I think in that time period they would have done that, I suppose. So I did that, and what I'm doing there, don't know, yeah, still painting all the walls and putting the floor in there, and another fireplace. And this is going to be the piano room, or the creative room, in some sort of yeah, really creative room, with a piano and violin, and I think there are going to be 2 easels and something for the kids, I think. And this is going to be the men's room, for him to enjoy his own company, or to invite his friends over. And well, in the end there will be another fireplace in there, and I think also a bar and a darts place. And yeah, what I'm doing now. Still working on the floors, I think. Yeah, I'm sorry, this is quite boring. But I'm still doing the flooring, and this is upstairs. And I'm doing the children's room and the maid's room now. Yeah, and putting all the lights in there. And after that, I think we're going to be near the end, because in the second part of this video I'm going to show you the inside of the house and how I decorate it. And this is the part I enjoy the most, actually, putting all of the items and objects and furnishing in there. And yeah, I quite enjoy that. This is going to be a small bathroom. And where am I now? Upstairs in the children's area. There's going to be another dressing room for the child. And the two rooms on the right are going to be the maid's rooms. One of them is going to be for my maid that I created. And yeah. What is this? Yeah, is this actually the children's room or the... No, I think this is the couple's room. And as you will see in the second part, I changed the color scheme a lot. There weren't really the rugs and the colors and items I really needed for the build, and it was quite a huge task to make them all fit together, if you could say that. There I'm trying to find out what the actual color of the bed is like. And yeah, what else? I think we're going to the end right now. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll talk to you in the next part. Bye guys!